This short video talks about a layout in the participant module called Educational Goals in MSGs Tracking, excuse me, for open cases. And let me first show you how I got to this layout, if you need a reminder. So I'm back out to the Aware home screen and I'm clicking on the participant module. And I'm scrolling over to my layouts tab at the top left. And then you'll see I have educational goals and MSGs tracking open cases already in my recently used, but you won't necessarily have that there yet. So you take the drop down and then you scroll down, everything's in alphabetical order. So it's educational goals and MSGs tracking open cases. Select that, hit apply, and then it brings you to what is called a layout. This layout is especially helpful for keeping track of educational goals and measurable skill gains, also known as MSGs. And this is a test environment, so I have test cases here. You'll see helpful columns here with obviously the person's name, their participant ID, their case status, and here, student with a disability. This literally tells you if they are listed as a student with a disability, yes or no. Similarly, has an active educational goal, either yes or no, super important. And we'll go over some of these in more detail. It lets you know what the age of your client is, important because you know when they turn 22 years old, they age out of pre-ET services. So a good column to pay attention to. And then this next column, latest active educational goal, you'll see there's some listed here and there's one not listed here. So we'll talk about why that's important to check. And then the latest active educational goal begin date, latest active educational goal expected end date, latest measurable skill gain type, and the latest measurable skill gain date. Those are the columns that we're going to mostly pay attention to today. However, you can scroll over to the right because there's a lot of columns on this particular layout, and it gives you two different school name fields. Remember, one of these is the freeform field, and one of these is the the mini search school field. So you can find out where your client's going to school based on that those columns. So let's look at this first participant, Drew BRS. I'm interested in this participant because I know it's my client. I know they're in high school, but it says student with a disability, no. And it says has active educational goal, no. And then I go over here to my latest active educational goal and I see that it's blank, same with the dates. So this pretty clearly tells me that I forgot to put in an educational goal for Drew BRS. So what you want to do is you want to open up the case, go over to the education page, select the new button under educational goals. Remember, we do secondary in a 4-year format. So let's say my person started high school back in 2023, and they're expected to graduate in 2027. And remember, generally we use the July begin date and the June expected end date because we have to capture the whole calendar year with educational goals. So they maintain that student with a disability status. So as you recall, if you create an educational goal, you got to put in the school that they're attending. And I'll just put in cool school in the freeform field. And here's the mini search one I was talking about earlier. You got to indicate if they have an IEP, if they have a 504, yes or no. And remember, the begin date of the school record needs to be the same as the begin date of the educational goal. So I select that. And I don't want an actual end date in the educational goal field because they're still attending high school and we don't know when they're going to be done. So just hit finish to save your changes. I'm going to hit finish again. And as you can see, student with a disability now reads yes, because student with a disability equals an open active educational goal. So I'm going to back to my layout. And I'm going to look at Drew BRS. Now you see student with disability is changed to yes. has active educational goal has changed to yes. It shows my active goal is secondary education with a start date in 2023 of their freshman year and their projected graduation date at 2027. I don't yet have a measurable skill gain because this person just came to me this fall, and they haven't earned a report card yet. But I can look at these other fields, and we're gonna really zero in on the measurable skill gains in these fields. So the next one down, STAM BRS. So it looks like I'm good with my ed goal. It's another high school student, and I've got my begin date. I've got my end date, but I don't have a measurable skill gain. And I remember that I should have got a high school diploma back in June for this person. So I can't backdate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up BRS, STAM BRS, and I'm going to open up the education page. And I can't backdate to Q4 program year 2024, because we've already reported on that. That was the April 1st to June 30th. That's Q4 program year 2024. We're currently in program year 2025, Q1. So I can still get credit for this MSG that I forgot to put in there by opening up the ed goal. I call up Stan BRS. I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgot to get your report card. He takes a picture of it, sends it to you. You can enter your measurable skill gain. So I'm just going to put today's date. It's when I attained it. Even though he earned it back in June, we can still get credit for this MSG. And I'm going to take the skill gain type is a transcript or report card. And there I've captured the measurable skill gain. And I'm going to back out. So I'm looking good there. This next one, Stu BRS, looking good. Active education goal, latest measurable skill gain type, secondary transcript and report card. I was good, and I entered this back in June, so we should have got credit for it back in Q4, the last quarter we reported on. And I'm doing well down here as well. Student BRS, I've got a transcript in there. Latest measurable skill gain date, 2025, so I did good there too. This Tina BRS, I see that they are a student with disability. They got an active ed goal. They're under 22 years old. They'll have to be 17 in this case. But I forgot to enter the MSG. So just like we did with the other one there, you can go ahead and enter that MSG. Hopefully it's in a timely manner. So hopefully we can get these things in back in June, or we have that grace period that goes into mid-July. So hopefully we can get MSGs in the summertime before mid-July when Amanda kind of shuts down the MSGs. But that's a super helpful layout, educational goals, and MSGs tracking. I would look at this thing, pretty regularly to make sure you're on top of your ed goals, make sure they're in the system. Like as you saw, if it's not there, it's not going to show here. If your MSG is up to date, you'll see that here. Or if you're missing it, you can pick up on that here as well. And then make sure you're up to date with entering your MSGs. So that is basically how to use the educational goals in MSGs tracking open cases layout. All right. Thank you very much.